So what we have here is where this set shows the model with the UV mapping. This one over here shows the mesh without the pattern. Okay, so I'm gonna push this aside. As you can see, it has transparency on it so that you can see the inside of it like that. So there is an outside shell and an inner shell as one piece. And then this here is the liquid, the fluid for the perfume. The reason why you model it too is that when you do the lighting, rendering, and shading, it all comes together as one final rendered piece, and the realism goes up several steps when you model all the parts together. Everything that you learn in here and in the other exercise tutorials will have you equipped to be able to model your own project one. Alright, so I opened up a new scene. First thing I want to do is do some minor little setups. This guy right here is what we call the view cube, or I like to call it the compass, so you can see where you are in the 3D world. Right now it's super small, so I want it to be bigger. The way you do that is you hover over it and you just right click. Again, that's the right mouse button, you just click it. And then you go to preferences. Alright, anyway, so we're in here, we did that. We're going to set the view cube size to large. And inactive opacity set to 100. And then I'm just going to hit save. So it's nice and big. Alright, next step is that in the classroom folder, you want to go straight to this section right here, this folder called Product Modeling Exercises, and I want to find this one, Victoria's Secret BombShell Assets. You want to copy that folder. So you want to grab this, copy it, and just paste it to somewhere locally on your computer, probably under Documents. Anyhow, inside this folder, I decided to put in these two additional images. So it's important to show or to practice drawing these lines, these main construction lines. Part of the assignment for the project one is to draw the outlines, the important ones at least. It helps a lot to kind of show what to look for ahead of time. For example, down here, the thickness here versus this area. Whereas if you were to look at the original picture, it's kind of hard to see exactly what's happening. It can get kind of overwhelming if you're to just isolate the specific lines. It just helps to deal with the overwhelming amount of visual information going on. So I put that in there as well. And then there's this one too, that one. And there is this one, where you collect the images and put them together as a collage. You grab these guys, this one right here, and this one right there. The top down and the front images, you copy it. And then you go to Documents, Maya, double click that, Projects, Source Images, and you paste it in here. See, mine is right here, this one and this one. First thing we're gonna do is we need to put in the image planes. For me, I use the photographs. What I want to do is go to my outliner. It's kind of like my checklist of everything that's been made, and we're gonna attach the image reference to the camera. For example, the front. You notice it's grayed out. I'm gonna select it from here. You won't see it here, but I press the space bar, and so you'll see top you'll see front. Let me turn the grid back on, which is this guy. Alright, so I paused the video for a bit. So here we are. So, table of contents. I put in thumbnails, right? You don't see it right here, so knowing how this is set up, you literally click on the section, you have to click on the section. And then you see all the thumbnails, see? Image planes that we're just about to do, and UV mapping, play blast, turntable 360. So just a reminder, it will also be on the W drive classroom folder as well. Front, I select the front from the outliner. I'm gonna go over here. You should see right here the attribute editor tab. You click that. I'm gonna close everything. I'm gonna go to environment, click on the environment tab, image plane, create, and I created the basically this card looking thing, and then you just plug the image to this card, kind of like a billboard. And see right here, front, it's facing front. So what we're gonna do is, you always want to remember this folder looking icon. You want to click that. It's named, so which is front, right, front. So I grab the front, here's the front, and open. There you go. See? Name it. Image plane with a space bar. I'm gonna name it front. Super important to do that. I'm gonna grab the top. So I select the top camera from the outliner. I go to the attribute editor, the environment tab, image plane, create. As you can see, it's looking from the top down. See, top. I'm gonna go click on the folder. Click on the folder because we're gonna plug something in there. We're gonna grab top. I hit open. Zoom in. Space bar. As you can see, it's not exactly perfect at all. I'm gonna press R as in scale. And I'm gonna just scale using the center yellow cube, uniformly scaling it. Pull, you just pull on it like that. It is kind of not perfect. See, it's gonna crop outside for a bit, whereas this side is fine, so that's a bit too much. So I'm gonna crop it. I'm gonna scale it down a bit. And then press W for move tool. I'm just gonna nitpick and nudge it over for a bit over there. It's just good to kind of see how you can manipulate the image plane, that it is flexible. I'm gonna go into the outliner, double click it, delete the one, space bar. I'm gonna name it top down. Space bar again, space bar. Whenever this happens, I don't let go of the right mouse, right? Because it popped up the flowing menu. I'm gonna go back to that circle and go back to this circle. You'll encounter that sometimes. See, it's not perfect, so okay. I'm gonna grab the front image. I'm gonna yank it up. Go into the front. I'm gonna yank it up just enough so it sits flush with the floor. Remember, this is the floor. This is the vertical line, midline. This is the floor. This is the midline, top down, midline, cutting across sideways. Alright, so we got that. Let's just save this. File. Let's just go save scene as. Maybe your name. And then Victoria's Secret WIP stands for work in progress 01. Use underscore. What for sure you don't want to do is put periods, dots. You don't want to do that. Save as. Next. Now you notice that sure it looks neat how we could see in a 3D world the front or the side, the orthographic views. These modelers use these all the time. A lot of times you just model in alignment with the orthographic views. I don't want to see it in the 3D world, but I do want to see it in the orthographic panels. So how do we do that? Well, we select the front with the attributes for the front image plane. You'll notice here, and close everything else, image plane attributes, it's stated to in all views, meaning all the views, including the 3D world. I'm going to change it to looking through the camera, and this is going to be looking through the front. It's actually set up to the front, which is now not grayed out anymore, right? So I'm going to do select look through the camera, but you notice it's set to top. You want to set to front. As soon as it did that, you'll notice down here it changed, right? So be careful about that. I'm going to grab this, top down, change it to look to the camera. See, right now it's set to perspective. Change it to top. That's the only quirky thing about it. Next thing I want to do is you'll notice that when I start modeling in here, I can accidentally grab onto the image plane by accident, which is really annoying. What you want to do is grab both of it. I just clicked here, channel box, and I had selected both of them. And here, right, if you don't see this, this is the display layer. If you see it like this, for whatever reason, look down here, the dot 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 dot, hover over it, yank it, drag it, there. Display layer, with those still selected, make sure they are selected. You go to here, very last one, create a new layer and assign selected objects. Click it. It just made a new layer. This here V is for visibility, off and on. You can toggle it. We know it's working well. Don't mess with the P, that's for perspective, or the play blast. Just don't mess with it, just leave it alone. This right here is the layer 1, the name of it, but we want to give it a special name. The way you do that is double click, pops out a floating window, edit layer, highlight everything. I'm going to put underscore, right? I'm going to write down image underscore planes underscore. The edit layer floating menu, it does not accept spaces. Again, that's why you have to put underscore. And the edit layer, it also does not accept duplicate names of anything in your scene. I like to put underscore at the front, underscore at the back, just to trick it, and hit save. This last column, if I click once, it's set to template. You don't want that. I'm going to click it again. It sets to reference, R for reference. So now I cannot grab onto it. I'm going to turn off the grid for now. This guy right there. This guy right there. This right here, polygon modeling shelf. This one, cube. Click on the cube. Here we are. Press F to frame onto it. You notice that the cube is going through in the middle of the grid. You have to think of the grid as the floor. And you notice that the little gizmo, the controller for it, is in the middle as well. I don't want that. So I select it. Here again, channel box, polycube 1. You'll see here on it says here inputs, polycube 1, the inputs values for the cube. You can crack it open by clicking on polycube 1, pop. And then this says here height baseline. Just type in -1. Okay. Not only did it raise it above the grid line, see, if I press W, the controller for it is at the base of the floor, which is going to be really helpful and useful and convenient later on. The other thing too is I want to make it bigger. I'm going to go press R for the scale tool. In this situation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on the red, right? Like that, see? And then here, I'm going to press 4 space bar to maximize it. And you see this right here, yank on it, so I get a rough idea to the width, chunkiness, the base of it. This is the thickness. I'm just looking here, and it looks like it's right around here-ish. So I think that feels right. Maybe I'll just kind of squeeze it like that a little bit more. You know, let's just make it what, 2? 2.25, 2.2, whatever, 2.2. Alright, so we got the general thickness of it. This thing always gets to me because it ends up looking kind of fat afterwards. Maybe make it 2. Yeah, make it 2. You can change it afterwards. Alright, whatever. So here, press 4, spacebar to get into maximize it. Press 4. Now I'm going to pull on it. Bam. So we blocked it in like that. Spacebar to get out. Here we are. Next thing you want to do is, you see how it looks all just jaggedy and just nasty looking, you know? What you want to do is click on this right here, multi-sample anti-alias. And it's a little bit cleaner, much cleaner actually. And then I like to have the wireframe on top of the shading. So Alt 5 toggles it on and off, Alt and 5. Alright, so we got that. I'm gonna save this. Control Shift S again, Control Shift S, save as. I'm going to manually type in 2, hit save as. Next thing I want to do is, let's name it. I want to double click it. I'm going to name it BombShell perfume. But I'm going to just name it WIP. Alright, so we got that. Okay, next step, I need to add dividers on the mesh itself, or we like to call it adding more resolution to it. So I go back into the poly 1, and then under subdivisions, spacebar, set it to 2, right down the middle, height, right down here, midline, depth, 2. Now I need to study the actual picture first. And let's look at this. Now you notice this. I need to model this here, here, right? Here and here. Like see this, 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 and this. So let's go ahead and do that. I need to be, see how we were blocking it in as a whole object, right? Object mode in green. I need to convert it to one of the components. Would be faces, vertices, or edges. We're gonna convert it to edges. The way we do that, just as a review, you select it, right click and hold, choose edge. See? Edge mode. Spacebar. So right now we're in edges. You can see I highlighted in red, right? Next I want to introduce is the symmetry. Right now symmetry is set to off. Crack it open, drop down menu, object X. symmetry object X. So again, this is the X left to right in relation to the front. So whatever I touch here, that will light up. See. Now one thing I want to mention is that this is the W, right? Move. Using the move tool, I'm used to it, but when you're first learning, you could actually end up, I don't know how to show it, but you could actually end up moving parts and pieces. If you press Q, Q is basically just, touch selection, right? And it's much safer. So Q as in Q-tip. Hold Shift, grab that. Right? You don't see the move handles, but it's just to keep things safe. Press W if you want to see it. Press Q to hide it so you don't move it by accident. Anyway, so we got this one. I want to grab the bottom one too. Hold Shift, grab that. Hold Shift, grab that. See, and I'll grab the other side. Then from there, Shift, hold down the Shift key, press and hold the right mouse button together. You get the drop down menu or the flowing menu. And then hover, choose bevel edge. Let go. Okay, and this guy popped up. Make it a little bit bigger. Alright. Space bar. In here, space bar. And luckily for us, it's pretty much on point. But what you can do is under fraction, you could slide it, but it's kind of hard to control. It's clunky. So what you want to do is remember this tool, hold down the control key, and then you see the slider, right? You hover over the yellow. And when you hold the control key and you slide, you have fine-tuning control of it. See? You get a perfect setup. Space bar, there you go. Right click on it, or right click here, or right click on it. Right click and hold, choose object mode. Most of the time, you get out of the tool sets by going back into object mode. And then if you ever wanted that floating tool back for a bevel or any other tool, press T as in Tom. Boom. Q, get out of that. Now we're gonna model this. See this right here, this raised